I mean, going from a kids show to a darker theme show, I thought they handled it pretty well. Like,
No, but I mean, let's keep it real. They basically have the original people together making it, so it works.
yeah.
So what have you guys all been up to this week? What the hell you been playing?
Game.
Everyone keeps on talking about that.
I've been
Have you
playing.
been playing anything outside of Breath of the Wild or the Switch?
I've been playing light.
I
I'm
have
asking you.
I have because I don't have either of those things, and that was Saints Row 2.
I've been playing.
Okay.
I've been playing starting a job. That's what I've been playing.
I've been,
Hey, are you
I
gonna get the expansion pack that asked your boss for a raise?
I'm not at that point. I'm still a newbie, so I gotta wait.
You still got the base game, okay?
Yep.
I've been playing my music.
Obviously.
Yeah, long time no see.
yeah, man. So we're glad to see you.
Glad to have you here, man. Seriously.
Yeah, man. It's been a long time.
It has.
Been a while.
Well, I'm pretty sure Kenosha wouldn't like you or Mr. Red Fox. These two trollish bastards really left on a really good note last podcast. But anyway, we are live. This is OGL number 7, I believe. I could have this wrong, but I forgot we did number 6 like a week and a half ago, so forgive me. But this is number 7, I believe. And it's going to be random topics tonight, anything you guys want to bring up. I do want to bring up a few things. We don't have to. And if anyone watching has any questions or in the chat or whatever, feel free. We'll get to them. But yeah. Anyway, I want to start out by saying one thing, one topic, and I already made a video about this, so I'm gonna be uploading like 5 or 6 of them, like maybe at the end of this week at the same time. I'm gonna pull a GVGINU, but this whole thing with this, how should I really say this? I've heard some DLC rumblings about Infinite Warfare. Not Infinite Warfare, I'm sorry. Well, Modern Warfare Remastered, not DLC, but the game that was tied behind a paywall of buying the I guess the better edition of the game, and now it's going to be a standalone release.
Like 8 months later.
Hey, look, we all said this, including Liger. We said to the ones that were bitching, that were downvoting the video a million times, look, if that's all you really want and you don't care about Infinite Warfare, they're going to release this as a standalone game. If you really want to play this game that bad, it's still available on the PS3 and 360, and the service is still active. But no, they didn't listen. So they ran out there and got Infinite Warfare, one of the lowest selling Call of Duties of all time, if not the lowest. It didn't meet expectations, I would say that. And we know why they're doing this. It's a cash grab. We know why.
Well, yeah, because they figure, hey, we couldn't get them to buy both of them together. Well, let's make it separate and charge now.
So how do you guys feel about that? About Modern Warfare being remastered as a standalone title?
Unless that remaster standalone comes with all the DLC, screw them.
And it's not, so it's not even.
Well, again, screw them.
Yeah. How's it going? I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm tired of Call of Duty. I'm so tired of Call of Duty. I just want. I mean, remember when those various companies that work on Call of Duty actually made other things? Remember that? Like, remember when Treyarch made some of the best damn Spider-Man games you'd ever played?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
But that's what people want, man. That's all they care about. It ain't Call of Duty, it's Battlefield.
Like, here's the problem with Call of Duty. I mean, if Activision really wants to save Call of Duty, and I know this is going to hurt them because they love their annual franchises, make it a every 2 or 3 year thing. Like, every 2 or 3 years, you drop a Call of Duty. And look, you can support that Call of Duty with all the DLC season passes you want. You can have a season pass for every year with new content and all that shit. And then have those other teams work on other new shit so that when Call of Duty inevitably gets run into the ground, because Activision IPs always do that, there's other stuff there's new stuff to take that place. Or you could always give us another true crime.
I swear, last year sometime, I said the exact same thing about Call of Duty and Madden.
Yeah, I mean, well, Madden, like, here's the thing. EA doesn't, like, okay, I know that Activision has creative people. The people who made Neversoft, the people who made Tony Hawk, they took a hiatus off of Tony Hawk and went and made Gun. Gun was Red Dead Redemption before Red Dead Redemption existed. And Gun was great. It was fun.
And they stopped there.
And they stopped there, yeah.
Red, can I ask you something? What has there been a new Call of Duty announcement or something? I mean, I just came kind of late into the podcast, so I'm kind of confused.
They're going to release Call of Duty Infinite War, the remaster of Modern Warfare. They might do a DLC for it where you can get it for whatever.
They're basically going to give it a standalone, and that's about it.
They're going to Bayonetta to it, okay? That's what they're going to do.
But they're going to still charge you for their remastered DLC.
Yeah, which, I mean, is obviously they're going to do that because
that's still a ridiculous concept.
Well, I'm not going to whine about DLC anymore because at this point, all the companies are abusing DLC. Did you see that horrible Fire Emblem DLC price? $45 for a season pass.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, I actually just saw that like maybe an hour ago, and I thought someone was actually trolling. Is this true?
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And what does this contain exactly?
People wanted Nintendo to modernize and do everything the other companies are doing.
Yeah, they were like, get with the time.
Let me. You know what? I saw this coming from I saw this coming from a mile away, and it's just, as a business, a company can only adapt to what is going on. And let's be honest, Nintendo tried to bring about some change in the industry and tried to bring back some original elements to gaming and stuff like that. And guess what? No one wanted it. They complained about features, they complained about additional content and this, that. Well, guess what? It costs money.
Everybody's mad.
I'm mad. But you know what?
I'm it's annoying, but you know what? I can't say I'm mad. Like, if you look at the evidence, this was bound to happen. This was inevitable.
Yeah, but can we keep it real just for a second? Let's really just keep it real, okay? As far as Fire Emblem goes, you really only need 2 bits of DLC, okay? And as long as they're selling that single, you'll be fine. The maps that give you money and the maps that give you experience. Yeah. That's it. That's all you need.
Actually, and to be honest, Gaiden was already a really amazing game. Like, even before this remake, and this remake, it has been confirmed, they even updated some maps and some missions from the original one with new elements. So at least
I don't know how you know Gaiden was amazing. It never came out in
Oh, believe me, like, I'm one of those Fire Emblem guys that play translation patches or just play Japanese with a guide, like with a guide open, a translation script.
He's one of them guys that hustled for Fire Emblem.
So this, like, the game is going to be amazing. DLC or not, if Gaiden is probably one of my favorites in the series, and it's going to get a really whole new revamp.
Well, I said, all you need if you're gonna buy DLC for any of the Fire Emblems, all the way back to Awakening. If you were gonna buy any of the DLC, all you need are the maps that give you money and the maps that give you experience. Everything else is just a useless affectation.
Yeah, even that, the ESP map is kind of redundant because Gaiden, you can revisit dungeons, so it does have grinding.
Yeah, but sometimes that's not necessarily the best bet for certain people. So, I mean, like I said, as long as you have the map as long as you have the map that gives you lots of experience, or EXP books, or those sage books that let you change your class. Although Gaiden is different, but whatever resources you need to make yourself to upgrade your characters, you'll be fine. I mean, people are too reactionary when it comes to gaming. And here's the thing: I hate to say this, gaming is an expensive hobby. Okay, if you aren't prepared to pay the price to get in the pool, then that's on you.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that I think I'm never going to complain about DLC practices anymore because even Nintendo is doing this at this point. So it would be kind of hypocritical to just say that because company has a lot of DLC, like
Well, you
that
know
can be
what?
bad. I mean, all of them are
But
doing it right now.
but even still, to me, there are some things that should not. I did a video about this a while back, but there are some things that to me that are unacceptable. Now, I have not read any details about this DLC. I don't know what it contains, so I won't say it's completely unacceptable because I don't know. But let me tell you what I do think is unacceptable, completely across the board. I don't give a damn if you are rich and you're a lame gamer or skilled. To me, the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, that's unacceptable. The shit with Dead Rising 4, that's unacceptable.
Oh, that's definitely unacceptable in
Well,
my book.
you mean
Oh
the real
yeah.
ending you gotta pay us for?
Exactly. Like to me, that's unacceptable. Like I don't care what people are right. They're bitching about Breath of the Wild, and it's like, look, Breath of the Wild is a game I already have 210 hours in, and that's not even me playing whenever I want to play. My Switch literally gets about 8 hours of play per day, and that's split between myself and my wife. So if I play at work and she plays it at home, so between us both, we're looking at about 350, 360 hours of just
Fair enough.
Zelda. Now,
Um,
with that said, people are complaining about, Breath of the Wild. That's a long game. You can easily get 50 hours out of the game. Even you try to rush through, you can easily get 50 hours out of it. And you don't need the DLC. But when you tell me I need DLC for the true ending, when you tell me I have to pay $5 per character to get characters that are actually part of the core damn story of the game in a fighting game at that, that's unacceptable.
well, I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm gonna talk from like a perspective of business and consumers, not even from a perspective of like a gamer. Um, it's like here in Britain, what they did is they a couple years ago they start like all the big supermarkets and stuff like that. Any store that had over a certain amount of employees by government start charging for their carrier bags. Now at first when it happened, people complained about it. We said things like it was unacceptable and stuff like that. But you know what? Even myself, because I keep forgetting to bring bags out with me, I end up having to pay for the bags I need. And as much as I don't like it, it's one of those things where as much as I don't like it, it's one of those things where, many times I just have to go along with it. And I think that's what, and this is where it gets tricky in terms of what is and what isn't acceptable, because when you talk about certain DLC practices, it's people who choose to go along with it that perpetuate the idea of it happening. We may see it as unacceptable, but when a company's finances are saying different, at what point are the lines of acceptable and not at what point are the lines of acceptable and not acceptable when a company's making how much money from a business standpoint?
And
Looking at
I
the
can totally
perspective,
agree with
it
that.
makes sense.
I
But
can totally agree with
so
that point. But
the
but
point
the
I'm going
downside here is
the point I want to end on basically is that it really and truly is down to what consumers find acceptable or not. We won't find it acceptable, but then you talk about your everyday mass consumer of gamers who are quite impressionable and stupid. They might find it acceptable. I'm
yeah,
just being real.
I'm glad you put that out there because see that's the thing. We us gamers here, the ones that have common sense and exercise it throughout the day, we know certain things should not be tolerated, whether it be in gaming, whether it
Yeah,
be
life.
in buying a car, just in life, period. Things in different aspects of life. There are certain things that we're willing to compromise on, a little bit. We all do. Okay, we all do this. But right now, we all have most of the stuff we look at in life. We're like, I'm not falling for that bullshit. I refuse to do that. Like right now, if you walked into a Walmart today and Walmart said, "Oh yeah, here's your bill for your groceries," and then you're like, "Well, why is it like so high?" Well, now we're charging for bags. You probably drop that shit and leave. You will probably drop it and leave. Be
Well,
like, you know what? I go to the store
No,
across the street.
the funny thing is there are grocery stores. In the
Yeah,
country that
there's tons of them.
there's
Yeah.
there's stores that do it, but they tell you before you pay for everything.
Yeah.
But
But
you know,
but you've been enjoying that privilege for years, and also decide to change it. Let's say it is the extra cost that's been offset to the store, and so it's trying to compensate for it. That's one thing. But in gaming, this is all digital content. This is shit that you did before the game even released that you decide to take out. Now you can probably make a press conference and say, well, our budget, we're making this game, we went over budget, this and that. Okay, well, if that's the case, show me the spreadsheets, show me the accounting, we went over budget, you need to compensate for this. Because I will respond by saying this. I didn't ask you for all this extra bullshit. Like, look at Evolve. Did we ask to only get 2 or 3 monsters and they have to pay for the other 6? No. But that's what they want to sell that game that way, and that shit was a monumental flop. I'm surprised
It
that
was.
most of the gaming community came together and did not support that.
Well, here's my response to all that. Here's what people need to do. Okay, it's not going to happen, but here's what they need to do. Just look, listen. We all know that if don't buy this shit day one, don't pre-order it. Wait about 3 months, the price is going to drop. Okay, like it's going to come out this September, like September, November, October, around there. Just wait till January, February. It's gonna be the price is gonna drop by 50%, and then you can get the same game for cheap.
but Mr. Redfast, I have a postulation I wanted to make.
Yo,
What if you actually like the franchise and you really want to play the game and you don't care like
That
how bad the DLC is?
that
Like,
shouldn't matter because that shit. I
Hold
ran
on,
into
hold on. I have a response to that.
yo,
We're literally witnessing the results of that currently. Because
Yeah.
people said, "Oh, it's something I like. I don't give a
I
damn.
wanna get it anyway,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna question it."
Look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get something that you want to get. At the end of the day, it's your money. But what I'm saying is, if you just okay, it's your money. But if you wait like 3 months after the game comes out, most of these games will have dropped in price by 30 to 50%, and you will get the same game for less.
But
Hey, Red Fox, I got a scenario for you guys.
Honestly, I think that is exactly
Mm.
why they do a lot of these pre-order bonuses and stuff like that, because they know with a lot of these games they are going to depreciate in
But
value.
but Devil, check this out. I got a realistic scenario for you guys. This actually happened to me.
Double M. I don't know this Double M.
Shut the hell up.
No, I really don't. I'm not even. There's no profile on here called Double M right now.
Okay, Alpha Disciple.
He swapped to his Alpha Disciple profile while nobody was looking.
Yeah. Okay. A damn dick. Anyway, what I was gonna say, this is a real scenario that happened about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I was subscribed to GameFly, and I had the service for years. I loved it. Had no issues with it. I had a friend that he wanted a certain game, and I said, well, look, with my GameFly perks, I can get that game for you for like 35, 40 bucks. He said, when I get today, I said, well, no, you have to wait a couple of days because I ship it to me. I said, but I can actually get it for 40 bucks. I can save you $25 on it. This dude literally could not wait. He could not wait 2 days to save himself $25. So he literally went to the store. This was brand new. Brand new, it wasn't used. He literally went to the store and bought the game because he could not wait 2 days and save himself $25. He was that impatient to play a game. Even when I could have saved him some money. And I just sat back and all like, you could have saved $25. All it would it would only require you to wait 2 days.
Let's be honest. Are you waiting 2 days extra for Splatoon?
If it was cheaper, yes. I've done it before.
2. Okay.
Yes, I have.
I mean,
Okay, I got my
I'll take your word for it. Well, not really in regards to Splatoon, but I'll pretend I'll take your word for it in that
Well,
case.
check this out. I got Splatoon for like $45. I get all my games for $45 or cheaper on launch day or the same week. So that's not a surprise for me. I have delayed gratification all within me. I can wait. Just like I
Yeah,
have an Xbox One S. I waited to get Recore for like 20
yeah.
bucks. I waited
But
to get Tons of Game for like 10, 15 bucks.
like, here's the thing. A lot of the people in gaming today have the mentality of like a kid, because kids can't wait, right? Kids have to have things right now, right? But when you're
then
an adult,
what about the genuine niche fans of certain games who genuinely just want to go out and
That
get the game as soon as
that's
it comes
but
out?
yeah,
that's
but that
a small
that's a
group of
different.
people.
Like
Yeah, that's a different thing. I mean, because niche gamers aren't the ones who are pushing who are basically pushing these practices. Because by definition, niche means it's a very small market. Like most of the gamers who are pushing these Call of Duty, Madden, these games that have these insanely one-sided pre-order deals. These aren't like niche gamers. These are casual gamers that masquerade as hardcore gamers. And the thing is that like I mean, it's sad.
I mean,
because
I'm not disagreeing with anyone. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
the shit that they do is ridiculous, because they're like, well, I can't believe that, it's like, look, if you just wait, it's like, and here's the thing, it's kind I mean, like, okay, like I always pretty much had to buy most of my games that I've gotten throughout my gaming life, especially as a retro gamer, I got after the fact. Like, I got most of my SNES collection, like I'd say about 60% of it. I got like during that sweet spot when people were getting rid of the SNES games and moving on to N64, Sega Saturn, stuff like that.
Dropping them for like between $1 and $5 at a time.
And the other 30%, these aren't my Famicom games. Like the other 30% of my SNES thing, I got from Blockbusters and Hollywood Videos that were getting rid of that stock. They're like, look, man, just take 5 of them, give me $20, and we'll call it even. Like that's the type of deals I'm talking about. So I mean, like, there's something to be said for waiting. Like, I know it's hard for a lot of gamers, but if you just fucking wait, the price will go down. Like,
Okay,
you don't jump on a new technology day one.
I want to ask all you guys a question then. Okay, game idea guy, you there?
I am here.
Okay, so let's say next month, a brand new modern day Streets of Rage came out, perfect in every way.
You
Like,
had to pull the
hell
heartstring,
no.
didn't you? You
hey,
had to.
okay.
Rage.
Now let's say.
I'm
I know where you're going. Go ahead. Let him finish. Let him finish. I know where you're going.
I'm gonna get to all you guys, but okay. Let's say Sega announced. Let's say this game is gonna cost $40, right? Let's say Sega announced, okay, check this out, guys. We're gonna have DLC for this game. It's gonna be $30.
Damn.
$30, and all this DLC has is a few extra skins and maybe one of the other games remastered or something like that.
Fuck that.
As long as it says Street of Rage, I'm good.
Listen, I will buy. Listen, at that point,
my question is, would you buy the DLC?
No. Fuck no.
Hell,
At that point, you just buy the game and call it a day. Leave the DLC alone.
Honestly, I'm gonna class myself as exempt from this one, seeing as like I ain't bought a video game in God knows how long.
Well, no. In fact, you're next. So let's say next Nintendo Direct comes up, Metroid Prime 4.
I knew that was coming.
Let's say next week, and Nintendo says, do an announcement, we're going to have a $40 DLC pass. Would you get it? Would you actually buy this game in the DLC?
I'd have to see what's in the DLC first.
No, but even still, would you get it? Knowing that Nintendo is now just charging you a bunch of damn money for DLC.
Well, do I still get the full game if I don't get the DLC?
Yes, you get the full game. Would you? My question is, it's gonna be for everyone. Would you buy the DLC?
It would really depend what is in it, but chances are at that price, no.
Well, they gotta
Okay.
make money off Michelin somehow.
Okay, but check this out. Just based on these two examples I just gave, as much as you guys love and treasure those franchises personally, you didn't just jump the bandwagon and buy the DLC just because of your favorite franchise. See, you still had the mentality and common sense to be like, you know what? I'm glad this game is out, but I'm not just gonna buy it just because I love it. But see, gamers today, they can release 2K today. 2K 18 or 19, whatever, and then they can say, guess what? We're gonna have a DLC that's gonna have the updated rosters next month.
Well, you know what?
They'll,
I don't
they'll,
put that,
they'll jump
I
out there
don't
and
put
buy that shit.
I don't put that down to just the mentality of gamers. I put that down to the mentality of the society we live in as a whole, because
gotta have it now.
we live in a society where everything is very feelings and opinion based, and it causes people to make rational decisions.
You mean irrational decisions? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean. Irrational decisions.
I think you were going to say rash, and it turned into rational.
Can I say for the record that in some cases I can be an impulsive buyer, and actually, if the game really, really interests me, I will buy it day one and with the whole DLC.
No, at the end of the day, there's always going to be things you're going to buy on impulse.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a food lover, and
I'll be complete.
For example, I'm a food lover. If I pass a shop and I see I see, if I go into a food shop or whatever, and I see an item of food that I've never seen in my life, interesting, it seems tasty and everything like that, you know, I will buy it impulse. I will buy it on impulse, knowing that I may not actually like it, and I may end up wasting my money.
But you're gonna try.
Same thing I do.
Curious to try it.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think that all of this revolves around like everyone has a ceiling or a floor, right? Like for me, my impulsiveness is $20 when it comes to games. Like if a game is $20 and I don't know what it is, I'm like, fuck it, it's $20. If it's like an indie or something like that, I mean it's $20. What? I mean, you know, you could search your car and probably find $20 worth of change if you look hard enough.
Well, damn.
What the hell?
Not for everyone, but let me put it this way: if you turned over your couch, looked in your car,
I
or,
make it
you know,
$2.
you changed you could probably find enough change to pay for at least half of a $20 indie game.
But I can show you how impulsive I can be. If Nintendo would have announced an EP, a Pokemon Black and White remake that has $100 worth of DLC, I will fucking buy that shit just because I love that game that much.
Yeah, like everyone has their ceiling. Like, but for
we
me,
all have our weaknesses.
yeah, it's like, okay, like literally when someone has a pricing scheme that feels like they're bending me over, ripping down my pants, and taking advantage of me, like I'm like, wait a second, no, and then I back up and I reiterate, you know, I have to really reevaluate how things
you
go.
misunderstand me. I will buy the $100 worth of DLC because I love that game.
Yeah,
Before you guys go on real quick, we do got a question from Terry Goblin in the chat. He wants to know our thoughts on the new 2DS XL.
I have no problem.
Damn, I go first.
They're gonna make some money off of it. That's all you need to know.
I don't have a problem with it.
So yeah, this handheld's not going to die. The 3DS as a whole is not dying no time soon.
The only thing I'm confused about with the 2DS XL is that it's not the same shape as the original 2DS model, but that's about it.
I'll be honest. Right here. Go on.
The new 2DS looked like a kid's toy. The new 2DS XL looks like a 3DS, except you don't have to pay for the 3D. So it's cheaper, and you can just flip it and put it in your pocket and walk away with it.
And I gotta admit, the way that trim looks on it, it does look nice to have.
Yeah. If I didn't have 2DS,
I ain't gonna lie. This thing looks kind of sexy still.
Yeah, if I didn't have two 3DSs, I probably would get this one. But I mean, because every single Nintendo handheld, I have at least two of them sons of bitches. So you know,
if I was a technophiliac, I would so make love to this device right now. It does actually really nice.
What the hell, man?
Can I say something?
This is a podcast, not a Pornhub.
Be right back.
I said if.
Can I say something like my whole feelings for the 2DS XL can be summed by a phrase says that is said by Nostalgia Critic. It is probably Nintendo big lip alligator moment. Like it came the fuck out of nowhere. It had little or no relevance to what they're planning this year. It's already like the new 3DS has been out for like almost like I think it was a year and a half. I was like, this is probably one of the most pointless shit Nintendo has ever done. Like,
here's where I would think that I would like to point out, and this is probably what their thinking was. They have the new 3DS model out, and it's sitting at $200, and they also have the Switch out, which is sitting at $300.
$300.
Their new 3DS is still more than half the price.
Switch.
It's more than half the price of the Switch. So the new 2DS is literally half the price.
Yeah.
And people will look at it.
It's not just it's the power of a new 3DS for less the price.
Yeah, it's the new 3DS for half the price of the Switch.
That's actually a good point.
It's
Plus a lot.
It's essentially bridging the price gaps.
Yeah, and let's keep it real. Nintendo. Okay, look. Everyone.
Plus, there's a lot of people who have 3DSs who might upgrade because of Pokemans. A lot of those sold were probably 2DSs.
Yeah, well, yeah. If they have a 3DS, they might upgrade to the new 2DS because they probably don't use the 3D. You know, a lot of people don't use the 3D for a lot of games. But I mean, like, here's the thing, okay? And most importantly, business-wise, since people always like to talk about business. And you know, I've done a few business casts in my time, and I mean, let's keep it real. Nintendo has a virtual stranglehold on the dedicated handheld gaming sphere. So literally, they could just put some shit in a box and call it this is a 2DS that plays the shit here, and they probably would make money off of it at this point because they have no competition.
But Mr. Rafa, but what you're saying may be wrong. Isn't Nintendo like going bankrupt supposedly, like for the gaming media?
Contrarian. Nintendo's been going bankrupt for the last 30 years.
No, actually Nintendo's bankrupt for the last 50 years.
God, I saw a really shit-tastic article that I'm going to discuss in my own podcast.
Guys, you didn't tell me Nintendo was going bankrupt. Since when?
Forever.
Yeah.
No, the article said the Switch has been a premature hit for the economically troubled company, but Nintendo needs more than that if they hope to stay alive in a competitive market. Nintendo's situation.
If Nintendo is economically troubled, then what am I right now? Like I must be in some deep shit right now.
Yeah, let me put it this way: if Nintendo is in deep economic trouble, then other companies who are doing worse than Nintendo must be dead because, like, literally, they're sitting on I think their net worth is like over $200 billion, not yen, dollars. I mean. Like, and that's just the net worth. Then you factor in how much money of liquid cash they have in the bank. That's like shit.
No, the article said that the highly successful PlayStation 4 is all going to overtake the Switch in a matter of months. And I was
what's gonna take?
How is it highly successful if it ain't PS3 numbers yet?
Yeah.
Or PSP for that matter.
I'll put it this way. It will do. Look, it will. Let me put it this way. The PS4, in order for it to overtake, like if the Switch maintained its momentum, i.e., they do well in America, they pick up steam in Europe, and you know they're going to turn Japan into their bitch because Nintendo has owned Japan for the last almost every console gen they own Japan. So basically, if they continue to maintain their momentum, Sony is numbers wise is not in the best. It's not going to be able. They're going to be overtaken by this little shitty console handheld hybrid.
And that's something I wanted to ask you guys as like we're asking questions. What did you guys think of the craptacular, brain damaging, terrible, terrible article Polygon wrote yesterday? I think Liger did a video on this, but I want your guys' thoughts. Like,
I haven't read the article. I can just tell you this: Polygon can suck my dick.
it was like, believe me, it was like the first first LBC video that Liger did. Like when Liger was like halfway through, and my brain cells were literally dying off of how stupid the article was. It was like, God.
Look,
Ooh,
Polygon, that's all. That's what they do. They make stupid articles that make absolutely no sense. But because we live in a nonsensical society, people who have no sense and see that as truth. Obviously, people like us who have sense will see it and realize, okay, this is bullcrap. But you know, your everyday impressionable person, they'll take it, they'll spread it like they'll spread it like it's butter on hot toast.
Yeah, because one of the cons of the Switch is the cartridge are physical. And God knows where these are. If cartridge are physical, God knows where these are right now.
Well, what is a
Yeah,
cartridge? What is a cartridge meant to be if not physical?
Yeah, believe me, that is why I said it in such a mocking tongue. It was like, if cartridge.
Oh, yeah, I read that article. It was weird. It was short and kind of oddly written. It was describing how the Switch has a terrible thing for like storing your games because you can't switch over game files, and there's no good way to buy games because physical copy, yay, it's physical. But and the downside of physical is, yeah, I know some people say it, but it's like you have to lug them everywhere if you take it portable, and you have to actually remove them from the thing. The pro is you will always have your games. And then they're like, you could always go digital, but if you lose your Switch, you lose your games. But you don't have to physically put them in the thing, so they're better.
What?
Which
Okay.
yeah, that was
Look,
basically their argument.
I'll be honest with you.
There's been people using handhelds from the Game Boy days, and we know how them Game Boy cartridges are. No one had a problem then. Why are they gonna have a problem now?
I'm going to tell you something. I think that article was not written by a human. Like no man on earth could be this stupid. It's like this has to be written by a monkey and that's translated into human language.
I believe it was written by a human. Whether that human is humane is a different question in itself.
It is like God. Even kindergartners can make better arguments than that fool. It was like, I don't think that guy ever touched a video game console in his life. Like,
or he probably did, but it probably was like years ago. Like at the end of the day, here's what you have to realize. Okay, a lot of the people who write for these articles aren't journalists. They're writers. Like they're getting paid to do a gig. And what gets a lot of hits for these people is writing shock articles that you read it, you click on it, you read it, and you realize you just gave them money because they had ad traffic. Because it's a shock article. It's like when you go to the grocery store and they're like, woman gave birth to 300-pound baby. Like you like in your head you're like, that's bullshit. There's no way a human being could naturally give birth to a 300-pound person. But because it's so shocking, sometimes your eyes look at it, and that's basically what's going on with these articles. Okay.
Well, let's be honest. If you spend time like in YouTube, as I did, like today's most popular content, I think I think it's like 80% of content is fucking cancerous clickbait at this point. People doing like really shocking thumbnails, all caps titles, typing something up like.
Well, if you're talking about bad articles, I saw one that I did comment on, and my one comment was very simple. The article title read something like, it was like Nintendo, the Switch is such and such and such, and it still won't save Nintendo. And my first comment was, please tell me that you did not click on this article, because if you've been following it all, they make profit on every console sold. They definitely make a lot of profit on their games. And since Zelda is first party, and so is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and a few other games, like they're making money hand over fist almost on Wii levels. So, but someone
Yeah,
say that they're
That
doomed.
article,
yeah,
that article, it was me, the one that posted.
Yeah,
yeah.
that
I read that article, and here's what I have to say. I had this long ass response on there, but the whole premise behind the article was like, okay, well, Nintendo's hardware install numbers have been going down with each successive generation, aside from the Wii. Okay, fair enough. But here's the problem. Okay, like they've still managed to turn a profit, and their software has been selling gangbusters, which like has actually, as it normally does anyway. And then, like, here's another thing. Okay, so you're arguing about that, but I'm going to tell you another company that's whose hardware install numbers have been going down, and no one ever tells them they should go third party. Apple.
Sony.
No, Apple. Apple iPhones are not the market leader. There's less iPhones in the wild. There's less iPhones in the wild than smartphones that use the Android OS. Okay. Yeah. So, but no one's ever gone. They're less Apple PCs and laptops, not PCs, Apple computers and laptops. But no one ever tells them, "Hey guys, you need to go third party." You need to get out of this. Apple should just give them this hardware thing.
Hey, Apple, hold on. I'll be the first to do it. Hey, Apple, stop making your apps and software for your own stuff and start making it for everyone else's.
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
See how ridiculous that sounds?
No, I'm not gonna lie. Apple, give me Logic, and I'm being that serious. Make Logic third party. Keep the rest of shit. I don't mind. Just make Logic third party.
In all seriousness, though, really give it to me.
Okay, this sounds like. This sounds like. That's like saying Nintendo. This is like Microsoft saying Nintendo. Just give us Mario. Keep the other shit. Just give us Mario.
Well, they tried to do that with Donkey Kong when they bought.
I think they would do it with Donkey Kong instead of Mario.
Yeah, they tried to do that when they bought Rare. Like I thought they were joking, but then I actually read an article where this was substantiated. Somebody walked through Rare's like, so now that we bought this company, we get Donkey Kong, right?
Well, you know what? You got to remember, Microsoft didn't just buy Rare and try to get Donkey Kong. Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo. Full stop.
Oh yeah. They did try to do a hostile takeover, but that shit wasn't gonna fly.
And then Yamuki just turned around and said, "You can suck my hairy yellow balls."
Knowing Yamauchi, that does sound like something he'd say.
That is literally what he said.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, he's kind of a dick, but I'm glad he didn't sell.
Hey,
let's just recap what happened to Rareware.
Tiny yellow ones, as far as he's concerned.
Can I ask a question? Now that you bring this up, what would let's think for a moment, like in an alternate universe, what would have happened if Microsoft did Nintendo?
I don't want to think about that. Here's what I'll say: if Microsoft could fuck up Rare, imagine what they would do to a Nintendo.
Please,
I can already picture it. It ain't ready.
Please, I don't want to see. I don't want to see a sequel to Freddy versus Jason. Come on, listen.
No. I'll just say this, and then we can move on to the next topic. In order to think of this devastation, think of it like this: someone has been forced to eat glass, and then they were made to swallow rubbing alcohol. There you go.
And then after that, they were. I'll finish up. And then after that, they were asked to catch every bullet from a fully loaded Uzi with their bare hands.
Yeah, that's the level of.
Do you know what would it be more painful if they will strap that guy to a chair and force him to watch a full marathon on Mortal Kombat Annihilation back to back until he dies?
That movie is fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
Okay. Here's a better analogy. Young Conquer.
No. Okay.
Here's a better one.
I gagged a little bit on that one.
I've got a better analogy. I've got a better analogy. This person has to sit in a chair for a whole week and listen to nothing but Lil Wayne.
No.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
I will bite my tongue and kill myself before I can.
I'll give you a fate worse than death. Here's what would basically make this is what Microsoft would do if they owned Nintendo. It would be something so horrible. It would be like if someone put you into one of those chairs, forced you back, put those things on your eyes to make you stare in front of you, and then made you watch all of Michael Bay's Transformer films.
Oh my God!
Over and over and over again, and they wouldn't let you go to the bathroom.
To be honest, I actually like the Transformer movies. So I wouldn't have an issue with that.
Okay,
they're okay if you don't give a fuck about the story. If you give any semblance of a damn about the story, those movies suck.
Well, not just that. If you like this, if you actually want to have a decent story or have interesting characters, or if you are a fan of Transformers, the American version, and you like those characters, if any of those things are important to you, the Michael Bay films are not for you. Now, if you want giant robots beating the shit out of each other, it's great.
But check this out. This is something else I want. This is going to be maybe a short topic, but last week I saw an article where they said the new Sniper game actually has a 5-minute load time.
Fuck that game.
Hey, listen to me. This is not. I'm not talking about the installation. I mean, literally, when it loads the game up, they say it's 5 minutes, and they say the reason for doing it is so when you're doing other stuff that it only takes 5 or 10 seconds, whatever. I said, but dude, I can go actually fix a sandwich and take a shit for the sandwich I just ate before the game starts.
Actually, I'll give advice to people on what they do in that time. In that 5 minutes that you have to wait for the game to load, I'll give you clear instructions on what you do. You go on to www.soundcloud.com/Alpha Disciple.
Hey!
You pick a track and you listen to it.
You gotta pay for it.
Man, free
Make sure you share that shit as well and follow as well.
Shameless self-advertisement.
Blame, such blame product.
Hey man, don't hate the player, hate the game.
And before we continue on that topic, Cherry Globin, he did share another question, which is, do you think Scalebound will ever come back?
I have an answer. I think it will come back, but it won't be Scalebound.
It'll come back as something different. Yeah,
it's gonna be something Scalebound because Microsoft owns the Scalebound IP.
Yeah,
what happened to Scalebound?
It got canceled.
Why?
Because Microsoft
doesn't.
Because
Microsoft, because less games is better for everyone.
No. Well, here's the thing. Okay, we don't know exactly why it got canceled, but here's my theory. Okay, Okay, as we all know,
Microsoft's a bunch of xenophobes.
Well, no. 2 years ago, Microsoft basically, when the new CEO came in and Steve Batshit Ballmer left. The new CEO started slashing the budgets of parts of the company that weren't performing. Now, as we all know, the Xbox division has not turned a profit, and since it was created, it hasn't turned a profit at all, period. So clearly the new guy's like, well, fuck this blank check shit Ballmer had you guys doing. Here's your budget. It's geometrically smaller than what you had before, and do the best you can. So basically, Phil Spencer had to cancel a whole bunch of projects in order to put money into putting together their Scorpio initiative, right? Yep. So he canceled all these projects in order and shuttered these studios that were bleeding money.
And basically, Scalebound was one of them.
And Scalebound was one of the projects. They shuttered Lionhead, which is sad because the reason Lionhead was suffering was because Microsoft made them make these shitty games. Like, here's the thing, and I know what some people will say, Fable, but really Fable, the mainline Fable games with each iteration sold more with each iteration. Like the first Fable sold under 1 million, Fable 2 sold 2.5, Fable 3 sold over 3 million. The series was getting bigger, and it was niche, but it was growing. Yeah, it was growing.
You know what
It
this
was niche.
series
It was
needs?
niche.
A
It was
Fable
niche.
went
on
down.
rails
Put
game.
it like this. It
Yeah,
was
that game was
niche.
good at
Yeah,
first.
and then
Now
they
it
did
sucks.
Fable the Journey. Like Fable went down when they
Put
did
it like
Fable the
this.
Journey
Put it
and
like
Fable
this. It
Tavern
was a
Trail
niche,
game.
but it was a niche, but it was a profitable niche.
Exactly. And instead of nurturing that, they were like, no, you need to make Fable the Journey to sponsor our shitty Connect
Because
that
we
no
need
one
to sell
wants.
Connect.
Yeah, and oh yeah, and oh, we need Fable Guardians, a shitty MOBA, which they canceled 2 weeks before it was supposed to come out and shuttered the studio. Now,
I
personally,
say less of a
they should have
MOBA,
been working on.
more of a what's the word? Asymmetrical.
It was a MOBA.
Asymmetrical kind of tower defense.
No, it was a MOBA. It was because when Overwatch came out, everyone's like, oh shit, we need to do a MOBA too. And that's what that shit was.
Actually, I have a question. Do you think
Be right back, guys.
the Overwatch popularity is going to last like more than this year, or do you think it's like fading out?
It'll
It's
have
eventually going to fade.
It'll
It's
fade
probably
in
going.
popularity, but it'll have its fans.
What's going to
They'll probably
happen?
get a couple more years out of it.
What happens
I
to the
can see
game
it
like
happening.
Overwatch is this: things are happening in phases. So
What do you guys
first,
think about that DLC?
you got shut up. First, we have people hyped for Call of Duty, and then you have people hyped for Destiny, and then they get hyped for Overwatch. And every time a new iteration comes out, those players, a big chunk of them migrate to the new game at the time. So you're gonna have Battlefield, you're gonna have Call of Duty, then you're gonna have Overwatch, you got a Destiny. It's gonna keep repeating back and forth, back and forth. Those are the four main shooters out there right now, outside of Splatoon. They really are. Battlefield, Overwatch, Call of Duty, and who's the other one I mentioned?
Destiny.
Yeah, the reason I asked the question is because Overwatch has enjoyed some years of that. Ever since it came out, it's been really popular. And
Yeah,
like,
It's only been out since last year.
Yeah, it's only been out for basically a year. Like, here's the thing: I think Overwatch is going to sustain its popularity, because if anything Blizzard knows how to do, it's how to fucking sustain.
Yeah.
Well, it's how to sustain an IP over a long period of time. Because they've done this before. They did Warcraft, Starcraft, WoW. They can do it with this. Now the Overwatch clones, they're fucked. They ain't gonna make it next year.
They're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, they're screwed. I
But
mean,
isn't it kind of
really,
funny that Activision helped work on both those games, both Destiny and Overwatch, more or less?
well, I mean, Activision was the publisher. Other people made that.
But just like when it comes to Call of Duty, made by Treyarch and another one made by Infinity Ward. Well, those teams do mix up at times to help with the other projects. That I'm pretty sure they do. So I'm pretty sure people at Activision Blizzard help work on Overwatch.
Well, I mean, clearly, because Overwatch was done by Blizzard. Like Activision is the overall publisher. The team that made it were people from Blizzard. Like Destiny, it was done by Bungie. Bungie now is owned by Activision. So even though Activision published it, like they had, like, Activision is just the people who gave them the resources and the money and the advertising. Like they had nothing to do with the development of it.
I just find it kind of funny that those two big titles are basically owned and ran by the same company, more or less.
Well, I mean, that's what they like to do. I mean, they like Blizzard will find a big IP and they'll find an IP. I mean, at least Activision will make new IPs, because EA just they will milk the shit out of an old one, but they won't do shit with a new one.
oh, and talking about Activision, like between you guys, are you going to buy the Crash Insane trilogy? It looks awesome, at least for me.
Well,
Hell
I'm
no.
gonna buy it, but I'm waiting for them to go ahead and announce it's gonna come out for the Xbox as well, because I know it is.
I'm fine with the PS1 originals.
Because I'm telling you, so far I've heard people say yes, exclusive to PS4. I haven't seen any box that says only on PlayStation.
Yeah, I've heard conflicting reports.
Yeah, I think it's only going to be on PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that this is a test. If it sells well, I think they're going to continue the Crash Bandicoot series.
Unless
It's not gonna.
All they're gonna do is remaster Crash Team Racing.
Yeah,
which
is okay. That's a pretty good game.
If I say unless they quote unquote make it a console exclusive, but still come to PC.
Yeah. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna be a console exclusive to the PS4, but then you can get it. They'll put it on PC. It's never. It is that shit is never coming because Sony gave Activision too much money. It's never coming to an Xbox. I'm sorry.
You know, I've been thinking something. What if they remaster Graphical Cortex and released it as a DLC add-on to the Insane trilogy?
I mean, like here's the thing: the Insane trilogy isn't going to sell that well anyway. So I mean,
it's a budget title, so they're not going to go all out on it.
Yeah.
Supposedly, the titles are just an HD version of the original. I mean, the stages has been left unchanged, like practically almost all the stages. And they only fixed the checkpoints in Crash 1, like the horrible the save points. They fixed that in Crash 1, but it is essentially like this.
Did they finally make it an actual 3D platformer, or is it still?
No,
it's going to still be the same thing.
I know. I'm being.
As I said, like the games themselves, like I've seen comparisons, like the stages are like literally play-by-play identical to the original. Right? There were no new like.
So let me get this straight. It'd be better for me. It would be better for me to just take my backwards compatible PS3 and just use my up-res cables and just play my old Crash Bandicoot games on my backwards compatible PS3.
No, because they look really nice. I mean, the updated graphics.
Yeah, because
if that's the only benefit, here's the problem. If that's the only benefit and they don't update the controls any, it's not going to matter much.
I don't know about the controls because I only saw like videos, but believe me, I saw a lot of stages and I was like, this is practically like they compared both to the PS1 like side to side, and they were literally the same shit.
But that's what they've been doing for the whole generation. They rope you in with graphics alone and nothing else.
Yeah, look how gorgeous this looks. Look at those graphics.
Here's a good way to look at things. Ukulele is an HD N64 game.
Yeah.
Crash is just going to be an HD PS1 game that's supposed to be 3D, but is 2D and 3D.
But here's the difference. But here's the difference between Ukulele and Crash. Ukulele, first of all, it's a 2017 N64 game with modern technology. So, I mean, just on GP, the N64 was a more capable console than the PlayStation in terms of like graphics and all that fun shit. Plus, like, unlike apparently this Crash revamp, like Ukulele, despite the camera things, has a lot of things that make it a smoother gameplay experience than what we had back in the day on the N64.
Yeah.
So, like, the people have learned from it. But with the Crash thing, it's just, it's prettier, but it's the same shit you had before, which I have those games. I have those games for my PS1, so what's the point?
I'll be honest, like, Mr. Refos had a point, like Activision kind of got lazy, and they just practically just rehash the entire game. 3 games were just graphical updates.
Hey, listen, Contrarian. We knew Activision was lazy when they took the Modern Warfare 2 ending and threw it on World.
Yeah. Or how about when Activision bought Spyro and just put them in a shitty Toys of Life game instead of making a Spyro game?
God, don't go there. That pissed me off about what they did to Spyro. I mean, I'm a huge Spyro fan, and that was like franchise suicide. Like when I saw that, I was like, rest in peace, Spyro.
Actually, speaking of Spyro, does anyone remember when they tried to reboot them and like that gritty edginess where I really want to play those games because like they're stupidly expensive now.
Yeah, because they didn't do a reprint. Yeah.
But you know what though? The worst
GameCube and then the one on Wii.
Power Man Zero.
Yeah, that was the worst.
That was atrocious. Don't even do that.
No, but actually, the Spyro.
What? Oh, Bomberman Zero with the phone.
Bomberman Zero is the gritty Bomberman where they try to make everything all serious.
Yeah.
and they're robots.
He looks like a robotic nemesis.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I'm like, this shit doesn't look like Bomberman. This shit looks like a generic, westernized Bomberman knockoff.
Guys, now that you're talking about it, imagine a game called Mario Revolution when you play as this realistic, like gangster-looking Mario.
If Nintendo did that type of shit, I would shoot every one of their executives myself.
Look, listen. I don't want to play any Mario game where I actually see a plumber's crack. Okay, I don't.
Actually, that would be a funny ass troll game from Nintendo where you have this where you, instead of like you have what's his name Charles Martinet, you'd have like some guy like, hey, we gotta save the princess, Luigi.
I imagine he said.
Well, hold on then. If we gonna give this game a name, let's drop Revolution and call it Real Mario.
Yeah. It's set in the real world, but they're insane. It's like, we gotta go to the top of this skyscraper. We gotta fight Bowser.
Red Fox. That brings us something. I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Mario Real Life sounds better.
Have you guys actually seen the YouTube video called Brotherly Love?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Did he put out the third installment yet?
What is it? I haven't seen it.
He just came back to YouTube. My wife told me about it recently.
I know you're talking about a dude named Kane, but has he come back yet? Or did he do his third one?
I don't know. But I just know that one episode when Mario was sitting on the couch and then Luigi said, "Come on, Mario, let's go." And he's like, "What you doing?" He says, "Nothing." He says, "What happened?" He said, "The prince in trouble." He says, "I know. She texts me." He's like, "So she texts you?" He says, "And?" He said, "I hung up on the bitch." I'm like, "What the hell?" And then he's like, "Look, man." He says, "Look, I'm tired of effing saving this chick." He said, "The last time she needed saving is when Donkey Kong got her. You know what she told me? She said she jumped in the car because he had candy." He says, "What the fuck is you, 7?"
I will. From a lore standpoint, he did mess up because that was supposed to be Pauline, but it's alright.
Yeah, and like I said, I would like. Here's the thing: like, if Nintendo said we're making a realistic Mario game, it'd probably be good because Nintendo makes fucking good games. But when you get these dog ass third parties, hey guys.
No. Like,
yeah, it would.
See Mario like with two machine guns. The motion.
That would be look.
A post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Didn't you read the thing they did with Miyamoto where he's talking about what originally Mario was supposed to be like? He'd drive around in a car in the original Super Mario world and shoot people with a shotgun. Like, I mean, look, this shit was always supposed to be hardcore. So why don't we finally let Miyamoto have his dream and give us the hardcore Mario we deserve?
You can't complain about Act Zero and then want that. I mean,
and you know what? And you know what I want? Well, because it would be fun. It would be fun. Like Act Zero is not only is Act Zero not very good.
Itself, and the thing about that game, I remember seeing that game. It took itself too seriously.
Yeah, like this shit would be hilarious. And you know what they need to do to tie it all together? The theme song, instead of the Mario song, we should get the Mario song from that Super Mario Power Hour when we were kids with Captain Lou Albano. And it should be do the Mario.
God, that will be as atrocious as me making. That will be as atrocious as me making Legend of Zelda: Attack of the Nazis and Link using a gun in World War II fighting Hitler and the Nazis.
I would be alright with that.
I just have one question, guys.
The Master Gun. What would the Master Gun be called?
The Master Pistol.
I have one question. I really need to ask you guys a question. What the hell is wrong with you guys?
Everything.
Link in World War II would be kind of badass.
Yeah, that would. Like here's the thing, okay? Like when they were working up ideas for Breath of the Wild, they had this one that was like a Legend of Zelda set in the future. That would be fucking awesome. Where Link didn't have to have opponents with a horse. It was a fucking motorcycle. and could you imagine like Link gets the Master Sword, but
Well,
it's the
upon
future.
his
People
already-
I
got
would think
guns.
technically though, for the Legend of Zelda universe, that would be the past because they have technology that's just
Well,
old.
I mean, when I say
It'd
the
be
future,
futuristic
I
for
mean,
us.
No, when I say the future, I don't mean the far past with the ancients. I mean like the future where like technology broke down and then it came back and they've got their own shit. They know how to make their own cool shit, not old technology they're revamping.
Hey guys, check this out.
That would be cool.
Insane Gamer in the chat said Mario
Mario
first person
FPS
shooter
with
with gold
gold coin.
coins, mushroom launchers, and attack Yoshis.
That would be hilarious. It would be like Turok except with.
Well, hold
Mario
on then.
characters.
If we giving Mario all of this stuff, what about Luigi? I mean, the poltergust got to be used for something.
Luigi. Okay,
Call
we
it
could
the sucking blow.
No. I got the perfect thing. Remember that Atari game for Ghostbusters?
Oh,
Like the one, and that was actually like a really good game. It was almost like a Ghostbusters 3. Why don't you make a game like that? Except instead of Ray, Egon, Peter, and Venkman, Peter, Winston, and Egon, you've got Luigi, maybe Toad and Toadette.
No, we all know the only thing Luigi would be good for is calling up Mario and see if he wants to go bowling.
No, he
Hey,
wouldn't.
brother, you want to go bowling?
You want to go bowling?
You want to go bowling, brother?
Guys,
Mario, let's go bowling,
Let's go
Mario.
bowling.
guys,
Let's go bowling.
guys, look at this what the fuck post in Miiverse. Guys, I have an interesting idea for a crossover. Mortal Kombat versus Nintendo.
That would suck.
What the
Suck bad.
Actually, someone already made a video about that.
Yeah, it was Street Fighter. It was Street Fighter cross with Smash Brothers, and the Street Fighter dude
it's
ass.
the realms of the characters' abilities are just too different.
Too different.
Way
Although,
too different.
I tell you what might work: Street
Guys.
Fighter. I mean, Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct.
Yeah,
Hold on, Ray.
listen, I've been saying that
Guys,
shit for
hold on.
years.
Guys, speaking of the Mortal Kombat and Nintendo one, in a way, I'm not gonna lie, I would want to see what some of those Nintendo characters' finishes are gonna be in a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
I mean, we
I
could
can
guess
tell you what
Mario would
Mario's
burn a
would be.
motherfucker up.
I'd be afraid.
Mario would use the firefly, would have burned someone.
Yeah,
Luigi would use the poltergust and suck your body up from the sky forward.
No.
Mario-
Kirby would do that. No, I think Luigi would basically be like, this isn't even worth it. And then he'd like do that little aw shucks kick, but it would it would create a crack in the level, and it would make the other side where the dude's thing create a hole, and he'd fall to his death. And Luigi's like, oh shit, like he fucked up, and then he'll like look both ways and say, we didn't see anything happen just between us, and run away.
Okay. Listen. Princess Peach fatality. I got Princess Peach fatality. You know how she hides a toad under her dress and Smash?
Mm-hmm.
She hides your head under her dress and pulls it back out and it's gone.
Yeah, that would be horrifying.
No.
No, you know what would be really horrifying about that game?
I'll tell you when
Character
it will be really
models.
horrifying. I'll tell you when it will be really horrifying.
faces.
Actually,
As long as the world's not actually making it.
Oh, Alpha's trying to say something.
Thank you. And thank you for saying Alpha. In that in Super Smash Brothers, Link's down A move when he's in the air. Can you imagine Mortal Kombat finisher? How brutal that would look.
Oh yeah, his sword stab would be a rendition of what he did in Wind Waker, except with blood and guts and everything. It'd be
And maybe
disgusting.
it might slice you in half.
Yeah.
actually, I have an
Kill you
idea.
down the
And
middle.
just imagine how savage someone like Bowser would be.
Yep. Or Ganon.
Actually, I have an idea. I have an idea for my avatar's fatality. He can you remember Mortal Kombat? Those chainsaw grinders that was a Shao Kahn. Like the Koopa Clown car can open his mouth, and the mouth is full of chainsaw grinders, and then he will feed you with his hands and throw you in the chainsaw grinders and grind the opponent into dust, into a little tiny pieces. That would be.
I hate to shit on your parade. I hate to pee on your parade, but Bowser Jr. is a kid, and you can't have people beating the shit fatalitying a kid in a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, so
I've just thought
no
of a character
kids, no
that would- I
Koopa
just
kids.
thought of someone who would have such fucked up finishes.
Kirby. Oh yeah, the villager. He'd have that insane stare. No, you know what he would do? You know what he would do? He would go up to a character. He would chop off. He would take that axe out and chop their legs off so that they'd be the same height he is. He cut their head off, and then he'd take the head, dig a hole, put it in the ground, water it, and a tree would grow, and bells would be on it. But they wouldn't be bells; they'd be other heads.
But isn't the villager a kid too?
No.
The village is a menace.
The villager is a serial killer, but he's not a kid.
Well, let's be. He could be like a shady character. So you do have a point.
I mean, no. I mean, for me, the villager is more like those Harvest Moon characters who look kind of kiddish, but they aren't kids. Because I mean, they can get married and shit. I mean, that's not really.
Wait, check this out.
I'd feel sorry for someone who's ever on the end of Samus's finisher.
We're not going there. We're not talking about Samus and her finisher. Anyway, how do you guys feel about the recent announcement, or details rather, of the Breath of the Wild DLC Pack 1?
I can't wait to play through hard mode. I want to replay again.
Even though that whole damn game is hard mode.
It got really easy. Lionels are stupidly easy now.
Yeah,
so
once you level up,
I'm excited to see if they add a new character color, or if it's just going to be silver.
Well, no, I think they'll replace the silver ones with champions.
I think they'll replace
like beasts. Yeah.
They got the Majora's Mask one too.
I want the Guardian. I want the Guardian, the Phantom suit.
Yeah.
For
I just noticed it too right now.
Finally, Spirit Tracks is getting some love by Nintendo. I mean, that's one of the most forgotten Zelda games, like, in the history of the series.
Man, don't say that. The forgotten games are those shitty CDI titles.
No, they're not forgotten.
You have to stop using such hyperbolic language, dude.
They are not forgotten.
No, they are forgotten.
No, they aren't.
They never existed. That's how forgotten they are. They never existed.
But you know, I have to say that this DLC, it makes me even more excited for whatever story mode they got for the second pack.
I hope it's like The Legend of Zelda after you defeated Ganon, because I mean that would be a lot better and more fun.
No, actually, I'm actually hoping it's the prequel. I actually hope it's a story of playing with or along with the champions before the events of Breath of the Wild.
They said it's post-game content, so it's probably going to be like, post-game content. But anyway, no, I mean, I think that could be a really cool dynamic. You as Link and Princess Zelda going around to each of those communities, helping them rebuild and reform, get their splendor back, dealing with other shit. I hope they add some new enemies, because the 7 they got are it's getting kind of old now.
I say they should just. I say for the next DLC pack, they should just, Link just goes for a portal and gets transported to Zebes.
Do you guys think it's gonna be like a different map in a sense? Because when I look at the borders on the map, there's still land on the other side of those big ass canyons.
Nah, he's gonna go to Zebes.
They could do that. They could open up new areas.
Nah, send him to Zebes.
Oh God.
Not everything has to be Metroid, man. Not everything.
Well, we all know he has a love affair with Samus. Look, Alpha, I'm gonna rain on your parade. If Samus were a real person, you would not want to go with her, because you'd become a love interest. And you know what happens to things Samus loves? They get killed horrifically. They become plot points for revenge stories.
I'm talking about anything to do with a love interest with Samus right now. I just actually want to see Link and Zebes.
That would be weird.
But I am actually thinking if Nintendo would,
that'd be that'd be awesome.
Might be afraid of bringing Metroid back. I mean, Star Fox Zero was a colossal failure, like in bringing a series back, and
it wasn't a failure. It was budgeted well. They made their money back. Critically,
it was a critical and marketing.
It was a critical failure.
For the game itself,
the game is actually awesome. Very few flaws with it, in my opinion.
The problem with
fans
Star Fox
praise
Zero is that people wanted the game and didn't know what the hell it was. That
Exactly.
was the biggest problem.
Yep.
The problem is actually, you know, that has been a problem for the whole Star Fox family. They don't know what the hell they want. Like every new installment, there's always something new to bitch about. Like in Assault, they bitch about the land missions and want the Star Fox to go back to the basics. It went
Okay,
back.
and it did.
It went back to the basics, but now it's a stupid rehash,
Well, I
and they
mean,
wanted something new. It was like,
well,
God damn it!
well, contrarian. We were in a podcast, your own podcast, just a few days ago, and we talked about how there was a game, DMC, Devil May Cry. Now, on a technical level, that game is solid. It's fun. It's
It's definitely
controls
a
well.
solid game.
The only thing that kept that game from doing well is that you had these lousy ass fans. Oh, his hair isn't white. That's gonna stop.
I would say I just didn't like any of the characters in that game at all.
I thought Dante in that game was fun.
He was.
To me, he seemed too whiny. Like he wanted to cry about everything too much.
Well, I mean, if every time something happened, you were blamed for it, you'd probably be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
I wouldn't be crying about it. I'd pull an Austin 316, put my fingers up to the world, and move on about my business.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about DMC. Well, here's what.
Hey, hold up. Yeah, your mic way too low, Alpha.
Yeah,
it's really low, man.
Yeah, it sounds like you're mumbling on the other.
1 second, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can.
Better.
Okay, no, I was just saying that the combo system in DMC was kind of whack.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that the combo system wasn't as tight as past iterations, but the thing is like at the end of the day, it was a solid game. It played relatively well, and it was fun. And I mean, I don't know about you. I actually liked his iterations. I mean, I liked his interactions with some of the bad guys. Like his interactions with the Slurm boss, hilarious.
Hey, check this out, guys.
Laughing my ass off.
And Cherry Goblin, I do agree with you, man. He says the Star Fox and Metroid fan bases are both childish.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
I mean,
they
here's the thing. Most fan bases are childish because they think nothing needs to change.
Oh, what the hell is this about? We still need that Metroid epic yarn. Really?
We could have it. I mean,
I'll be honest to you, Dr. Feelgood. It's not just the Metroid and
My Little Metroid
and Star Fox family. Like outside of Kirby and to some extent Mario, like most Nintendo families are really bad. Like,
oh, hold on, no, even Kirby and Mario, you will find some horrible people in these fan bases.
oh no, the Mario has the character wars. Like,
yeah,
you know what? The only Nintendo fan base that's hardly ever negative are the ones for Yoshi.
No.
I don't know about that one.
Yoshi has the nostalgia facts that only like the original Yoshi Island, and even Hey Woolly World. Like,
yeah. So I mean, like, here's the thing. Every fan base has people who thinks that things can never change. Like, okay, you have the people who think
Sonic
that,
fan base, man.
Yeah. Sonic.
Oh Jesus Christ! You just touched the black hole of shit, Kanoshi. Like, that is probably one of the worst fan base ever. Like, the Sonic fan base. They whine about Sonic eye color changing. Literally.
It wasn't his eyes. It was
I remember that. I remember that big blowout. And that was.
It wasn't his eyes. It was his arm.
But in my idea, guy, there was a guy that made a fucking 50-minute rant over the eye color shading. I was like, Jesus Christ, how much can you talk?
It was like,
you guys,
chalk it up to the character growing.
You guys weren't around during
I think
the voice actor
some of the
wars.
worst fans. I think some of the worst gaming fans.
Remember the voice actor wars?
Oh yeah, about having Jaleel White and different people do the voice for Sonic. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, and you know what's funny? Both voice actors suck. Like,
it's almost like the animated series and the game series are made by two different companies when it comes to casting and producing.
Who would have thunk it?
But Jaleel White won. I mean, because I think he's been the voice for Sonic for years now at this point, hasn't he?
And then there was the argument over whether or not classic
Griffith.
Sonic should have been voiced in
There-
Sonic Generations. People argued about that back
Oh
and
no,
forth.
but Game Idea, there was another voice actor war before that. Like there was a voice when they changed after Sonic Hero, they changed the
They
entire voice
changed it
cast
again.
to
Yeah, they
the
changed
four,
it.
Yeah, because the guy was out of contract. They needed to
and they
change
were
it.
Ryan
fucking
Gilman and Griffith or Jason Griffith.
Yeah.
yeah, they were fucking wars. Like there was a man
It's
child
it's
on
different.
It
YouTube
was
Listen,
terrible. It's
called.
hilarious
I
at
could
the same
understand
time.
people getting upset if the voice actor was like horrible and bad and they didn't actually seem like they fit the character. To me, it's just like, well, Sonic got older, his voice changed. Fuck it, get
Exactly.
over it.
I mean, that's it. Yeah.
Move.
Get over it. Yeah.
Move on. Like he
I'm-
got older. Move on.
Exactly.
It happens.
Guys,
Because we all know, let's be honest, we all know how bad the Zelda fan base is. Like they are legendary within the Nintendo community.
Well,
The Zelda
listen.
cycle.
Well, you got a legendarily bad fan base for a legendarily great game. It kind of fits.
Well, check this out. One thing I want to
Well,
bring up,
Alpha,
and this is a small tangent,
Alpha was
but
going to say something, but he
no,
we cut him
I was
off.
just gonna say like I've got to bounce now. 'Cause I've got work in the morning.
All right,
all right,
dude.
man. I'll catch you later.
All right, man.
Thanks for
Alright,
coming, man.
No worries, man. Y'all soon.
Bye.
Peace out.
The one thing I will say about Sonic voice acting is that I do prefer and I do miss I can't remember his name, the actor who portrayed Dr. Eggman for
James
Adventure and
Avery?
Adventure 1. Yeah. Or no, not for
Yeah.
the cartoon, for the Adventure series.
Yeah, but he died. I think
He died.
I think.
He's dead.
Well, James
Yeah,
Avery died
he
too.
unfortunately passed away. But
But-
the new
but
guy the new guy's good, but he's good for the new Eggman because the new Eggman is written for a lot more comical sense. And
Yeah.
Dr. Eggman
But
was a lot more menacing, and that voice was
my,
for that.
Mike Pollock did a good job in replacing
Mike
Eggman's
Pollock, that's his
voice.
name. Yeah.
Because to be honest, like there are some of the 4Kids cast was atrocious. I could admit to that. Like the Rouge boy, she sounded like a 40-year-old hooker. Like
I didn't like the Rouge. I like the Adventure
Hell,
Rouge
man.
voice.
Okay, listen. I have a question then. Since we're on the topic of voice acting, how do you guys feel about the patch for Breath of the Wild that allows you to use any voice acting?
I can finally,
That's nice.
I can finally play it in my language.
That's
Like
nice.
it is español because yo soy Latino.
Because the English stuff is growing on me, so I don't like that.
Nice.
It's great to listen to it in Japanese and stuff.
Oh, they're gonna let you put it in Japanese and all that.
Yeah, you can put it in Japanese now.
Yeah, you can actually choose any
Any
voiceover
of the language that
any
are
region. Yeah, that's
any
available.
region.
I might play it in Russian just because.
Now,
Man,
question.
y'all don't want to hear the Japanese. Y'all don't want to hear the Japanese
French-
language. It's
French
like
is
the best
good.
language ever.
The German one's actually pretty good. I've heard the German because that's what the speedrunners use is the German because it's the fastest one.
Actually, the
It's pretty-
Spanish. The Spanish one.
Oh my god, my ears.
God,
What was that?
I don't know.
my,
What was that?
but what the hell?
Whoa.
Well,
Somebody was power washing their lawn or something.
well, we had a big lip alligator moment in this podcast right now. If guys, if you haven't watched the Nostalgia Credit, you wouldn't get the joke. But
I do.
I get it.
Sometimes.
it's just something really random that happens. It happens, and after that, you don't want to ever mention it again.
Oh, there's another thing.
I get it
that
though.
was Channel
I understood
Awesome.
why it was in the movie. Honestly, I mean, it was late '80s, early '90s. It had to have a musical number. They're in New York. He gets thrown into the sewers. Alligators in the sewers. It's a joke, but the alligator's really nice and not mean. Yeah, I don't think it was that out of place. But anyway, I digress.
Actually, I actually like that scene. Like I never like have a problem with that scene, so, but it's just I like the meme, the big lip alligator moment meme, so I just use it. Now let's hope the Nostalgia Creed don't file a copyright claim against me now.
So where were you guys talking about voice actors in Zelda?
Oh,
Just
Well, you know how
about the
people,
new pack.
people actually complain. A lot of people complain about the English voiceover that Zelda and Mipha are either not
A little
good or
weird.
a
Yeah.
little weird. And it's like, look, man,
No, they
that,
didn't.
I've always
The English voice acting grew on me. Like even I was kind of like, but then after listening to it,
But see, here's my thing. I mean, I understand how some people may feel that it doesn't match up or it feels like
It's
it's
not bad.
overbearing. But to me, it's not terrible. But my thing
It's
is,
not
what are you
terrible.
comparing
It's
it to?
horrible.
Because what are you comparing it to? Because she hasn't had one before.
Yeah,
I
like let's keep it
think
real.
I have a theory.
Allow me to
If you allow me
explain.
to explain.
Well,
Go ahead,
ahead.
Perry.
So I'm going to explain my theory. The only time we hear voices for these characters is either through the little grunts and things from the developers or any localizer who wants to put it in, and then small little sound bites in other like Zelda games, like Hard Wars is the first thing that comes to mind. And Zelda always has like a more high pitched, very feminine tone to her voice, but in this she does not. It's a much more grounded, realistic female voice, and not the
Mm-hmm.
high pitched princessy voice. And I think that just throws a lot of people off. Plus, I think she does the voice and the acting of it better during scenes where Zelda is supposed to be more enjoyed and happy.
And you know what?
She acts better in those than when it's supposed to be more dramatic and slower.
But
Like I just
now that you mention that, it makes sense because even when you watch the making of this game, they even say that like they want to make this Zelda not so much of a princess, but someone that's more involved and more grounded. Hence, they say they worked for a long time to get her outfit just right.
actually, I do know the reason why the voice acting is hated, and allow me to explain the reason the voice
because it's not
acting.
Japanese. That's
No,
why.
no, the reason the voice acting is supposedly because they show like the voice actors show no human emotion in their voices. Like supposedly they all sound like robots. Like
No,
they
They
were
did
really
in
first.
What?
Bitman.
Wait,
don't
wait,
Playing
sound.
a different game.
okay. Well, here's the alternative.
It
Sonic
just
Boom.
sounds like mid-tier anime dub, which
Yeah,
basically
it's just
what it is. Because if you really watch it, you can tell where the translation had to be cut or where they had to speed up what their lines were. Because if they kept going, it would be off sync, or the camera would cut quicker.
yeah.
The first, not the first, but the memory you get for Daruk when they're on the beast, he says a line really like kind of fast, like he's starting it really slow, like he's going to finish it slow, but he speeds it up real quick because the
Yeah.
camera cuts away to Death Mountain faster.
Because they had to, they were in a time crunch. Like, here's the thing, okay? We're used to. I think really the reason all this people have this issue is because, like you said, we're used to them not having voices. If they want to please everyone, just patch in a thing where you don't hear the voices and you just, you just see the subtitles, which is what we've had for years anyway. So what's the point?
That
So
was
voiceless.
I made that point in a video I made like 3 years ago that if
Yeah.
Zelda ever got a thing, like just
Look,
having the options.
look. You have
Like,
9 languages now that you can pick
and
from.
now,
Yeah,
right?
Actually,
And
people.
as far as people's the voice actors, I think the characters in Gerudo Village, I think they did a pretty good job. So I think some of the voice acting is a little grating. I will say that I found Princess Zelda's voice acting to be a little bit grating, but I mean, you don't interact enough with Princess Zelda for it to really be, that big of a deal. So
I stand by that. She sounds a lot better when she's happy. Like, watch the frog memory or the memory where she's looking at the Guardian overlook her room, compared to the more dramatic scenes where like Link dies or like the Master Sword. There's a huge difference.
I didn't think those scenes were that bad.
No, but like there's a huge difference in how she presents the character through that voice when Zelda's happy.
I mean, but if it bothers you, I mean, you're not going to interact unless you're watching these memories over and over again after you collect them. I mean, it's a moot thing. But here's the thing. I mean, I don't know why. I know why, because there was a vocal enough minorities like, we need voice acting. But here's the thing. In Twilight Princess, we had a very expressive character who really didn't say. Well, most of her shit was actually English, run backwards, audio-wise, was Midna. But you still got what she was saying, generally speaking, by the tone and stuff like that. So, I mean, look, voice acting, no voice acting, who the fuck cares? Does that really affect the game?
Look at I mean, who was expecting like star-studded English voice acting for the first time they were getting
Call of Duty
serious with it. It's just
A
like,
lot of people were expecting it, sadly.
Uncharted players.
But
But they know they're
cheap,
time
right?
they've
here's what you do. Here's what you do
experimented
if you
with
don't
this.
like the Legend of Zelda voices.
You can just,
You come with this great thing that was invented a long time ago. It's called a mute button.
Yeah.
Actually,
English version is
I
fine.
wanted to say something. People, did you know people are really, really hype about you can changing the game into Japanese? Like I
Yeah.
see, like a lot of people say they want to play Zelda in the superior language, the Japanese one.
Superior.
I will say I do not.
That's a matter of opinion.
I really don't care.
Look, my thing is, at the end of the day, man, like Red Fox said, unless you're watching these things over and over and over, and they make you cringe even the first time, you shouldn't be affected by this.
Yeah, you're not gonna be hearing it
I'll
anyway.
be completely honest. People that bash a game because of voice acting, like unless it's Mega Man 7, Mega Man X7 style voice acting, where
You mean where Mega Man sounded like this? Hi. Or no, that was Mega Man 7.
That's not the worst one. Remember Flame High and our burn to the ground, burn to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, there's bad.
That just sounded like somebody who was on drugs. I don't really know if that was necessarily a voice actor.
That was just bad.
It actually did though.
If you don't like Ryu at all, and you play against someone in a tournament that keeps doing sure you can.
Shit, I just pre-ordered. Talking about Ryu, I just pre-ordered Ultra Street Fighter. I'm hyped.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I seen some reviews take points away from Mega Man X4 because of the bad voice acting. You only get a few scenes in the game where they actually use the voice acting. And the one that my fighting or cussing is actually so bad, it's actually good to watch.
Look, if you're gonna talk about bad cutscenes, bad voice acting, then the worst is obviously going to be Resident Evil 1. You're a master of unlocking. Watch out, you were almost a Jill sandwich. Yeah, oh god, no.
I got to the root of the problem.
Oh god. Okay, so I mean,
let's all admit it. That's probably one of the most memorable moments in Chris Redfield's entire career.
No. I got one for you. Final Fantasy X voice acting.
You could tell someone was reading that from the script.
You know what though? I got to say.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. In defense of that, that fake laugh. Like somebody broke the whole fake laugh down. Like that. The reason the fake laugh happened was what's her name? Was trying to cheer Titus up.
I mean, of course, it was fake laugh in the story, but it was still bad voice acting.
Let me put it this way.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night, as much of a masterpiece that people say that game is, it had an atrocious voice acting.
What is a man?
What is the man?
Well, wait. Symphony of the Night English voice acting was bad.
Like if you put it in Japanese, it was pretty
awesome.
good. Yeah,
I couldn't understand I felt every emotion.
Yeah, and that's why I fucking hate dubs over subs, because like shit that sounds ridiculous in a dub, it sounds better in the native language, and you just read the intent, because you can get a lot of inflection from the intent of what we're saying. Like if you watch any of the old school Akira Kurosawa films, like Yojimbo or Sanjuro, and you read the subtitles, Toshiro Mifune has a really deep fucking Japanese voice. Like, listen to this man's voice will make you grow hairs on your chest. His voice is so deep. But if you listen to a dub, you just don't get half of the intonations and inflections. It sounds weird.
I can refute your argument with just one word: Dragon Ball Japanese dub.
Okay, that's an exception, because Chris Sabat is the man.
Like that Goku.
Actually, I'm gonna take
every time he talks in Japanese.
Actually, I'm gonna say this much: the American version of Dragon Ball Z, they upped, it's better than the Japanese version. Like, the music is better, the voice actors are better. Because the music for Dragon Ball Z in Japan is garbage.
Oh yeah, I really like the music in the old Dragon Ball Z series. It was like hard rock music.
Yeah.
I mean, it fit the show so well. I mean,
here's the thing: the old Dragon Ball Z is basically a hard rock version of the Dragon Ball theme. Like it's literally a rock and roll, a hard rock version of the old Dragon Ball theme, and that's all it is. Like, and it gets the job done. But then the Japanese version is some weird shit that's like what the, what is this?
But isn't Dragon Ball Z per se just a really edgier, more action-packed Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
So it actually the theme song translate that really well. It's like it's Dragon Ball but for hardcore people.
But hey, we'll check out this comment from Chariot Goblin. What his question, and we'll close that after this. He says, "What are your thoughts on Xenoblade's voice acting, both games?"
The first game they were voice acting for the main characters was good. For the villains was like really you're gonna say that? Like, because the villains in Xenoblade Chronicles were so cartoonishly bad. It was like,
Man, I love Metal Face because Metal Face is just your average psychopath villain.
Yeah, he was cartoonishly bad. He was like,
but he had like an awesome voice and an awesome design, and it was just fun to see him. So I didn't mind.
and some of the English voice, it's like, oh, you've got the Monado. I'm like, really, dude, really?
Hey,
Oh.
I love the Monkar's voice. It
Give
was
me
like,
back the Monado. What?
I'm going to kill you that bad. He talked like that.
But yeah, it was. But Xenoblade Chronicles X actually. I mean, I would like you can't say your main character because the main character didn't say a damn thing about the entire game. But
no, they had lines during fighting.
Okay,
you did pick,
yeah, but they were generic as hell. Okay,
yeah.
Like anyone could have said that. But generally speaking, your other character, like, believe it, I thought the voice acting in Xenoblade Chronicles X, especially for the side characters, was actually better. The only annoyance is if you didn't like a character like that damn Nopon who followed you around with the glasses.
Tatsu is not potato. Lynn is friend.
Yeah, it's like I'm not food. Tatsu is not food.
Well, guys, now that we're touching the subject of like avatar characters, do you think that from now on there should be there should be like a bi-gender avatar, like male, female, and because
the character, you mean you can create your main character?
It really depends upon the game and what the developer is intending to do with the game. Not every
like
game needs
Link
that.
is an established character. Samus is an established character. But
like
if they
now I forgot the term, like transsexual character. Like
I don't listen. If it doesn't matter to me,
you
if
mean
it has nothing to
androgynous?
do with the character's story.
Yeah, you mean androgynous?
I think he literally means transsexual character, like actual transsexual character.
Because
I mean, if they want to make a game where you create your own character and they give you the option to create a transgendered character, then
let it be.
No, but I would say this. I don't think so. Well, I don't mind it myself. I don't give a damn. But here's what I say about that. Look how they reacted to the whole, gay thing in Fire Emblem.
What
and
gay
then
thing
on
in
top of
Fire
that, it was something with the censorship. Like,
You mean the character that you could basically like was flustered by male characters, so you could like basically give her an elixir that would make her not be flustered by you if you were a male character.
Because it made you give your character a female appearance to her or something like that.
Yeah. And this is the troll coming right here. But I think if any game was to explore that, the first ones to do it in the first game will be Mass Effect.
Yeah, but
actually, they have. If you think,
isn't it already there?
Yeah, the reason I asked the question is because I see that topic like pop up.
That's one of those social. That's one of those social things where people feel like if they get this thing to happen in this place, I've done something good. What they don't realize is that with gaming, changes like that happen on their own. If they stop prodding
everyone,
this shit will happen.
Honestly, I'm no master on the subject, but from what I gather, there are some games that have it, and like it's just discrete. Like the new Animal Crossing has it.
Yeah,
Like,
you can cross dress.
yeah, if you're a dude, you can buy women's like.
And wear it.
I dressed up in the Marie outfit because I like Marie so much. But,
yeah, I mean,
and then in Splatoon, you can just change your gender and wear all the same clothes. And
I mean,
anything like that.
They're squids made out of ink, so that shouldn't be that damn difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, like, here's the thing.
Genders when you go to the option. Also, I think The Sims 4 added that. Like, anyone can wear any type of clothing.
I mean, like, here's the thing.
It's just little things.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, as long as they give people the option, it's there if they want to do it. If someone look, if because a lot of people, gaming is their outlet for how they can express themselves when they might be in a situation where they can't really express themselves as freely in real life. So, if they have the outlet where they can do that, God bless them. Because, I mean, remember, there was a time when there weren't people of color in video games either, I mean, you thought, well, if you want to save the world, it's got to be some bald-headed white guy with that 5 o'clock shadow who talks like this, with a cigar hanging out of his mouth or some shit. So, I mean, we've come a long way. So, people need to calm down.
Yeah. Saints Row. Oh yeah, think of Saints Row all the freaking way.
Yeah, Saints Row definitely. If you play the Saints Row game, good God,
you could totally make your character.
Create your character any way you like.
Yeah, any way you like. You can be a 6'2" tall transgender dude named Sally. It doesn't matter. It's just do whatever you want to do.
It's also about I wouldn't say it's flex, but about that issue and when it comes to characterization and more just giving the player more options. That's all.
Yeah, just give them.
That's strictly for characters that you are injecting yourself into the game. I'm fine with that. My problem comes with people trying to change Samus to a transsexual when she's established as a woman. Changing Link to a woman when he is established as a man. Let's change Princess Peach to Prince Peach.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Let's go ahead and make Mario Maria. Let's go ahead and turn Bowser into Broza or something like that.
Hey,
I mean,
let them not touch my dad. Leave my dad out of this. I don't want my dad to have sex change.
But here's the thing. If Nintendo made a game where literally, I don't know, like some magician came in and hit the Mushroom Kingdom and Bowser's Land with a thing that switched everyone's genders, that would be an interesting game to play.
But that's a plot device.
Yeah, that's a plot device.
You can understand. It's not just a random change just for the sake of a change.
Yeah. Let's keep it real. If Bowser turned into a woman, that'd be one of the ugliest women on planet Earth.
Well, hold on though.
Look like
Big
Mom.
Bowser Jr., so there had to be a female Koopa capable of
that is creepy.
I don't want a sex change, so
we know who Bowser really is. He's really a man in a rubber suit. And Bowser Jr. is just his kid playing along. So, yeah.
He's crazy, but he makes me dress like this.
We're gonna go ahead and end the podcast here before it gets out of hand.
Wrap it up on that note.
Well,
I have one more troll thing to say before we wrap it up. This is your public service announcement, y'all. If you have any expired orange juice in your fridge,
shut up. Okay. Go ahead and give your outro, man.
Wow. Just wow.
Go ahead, Contrarian.
Pulpy orange juice for sale. Oh wait, no, it's expired. I'm sorry.
Okay, you can go first, Kenoshi. You bastard.
This is Kenoshi Abominito saying, if you have expired orange juice, make sure to throw it out. Don't drink it. Don't drink it on the dare. Don't drink it in the bed. Don't drink it in the shower. Don't drink it on the train.
Don't drink it in a bottle.
Kenoshi, you get a little intimate there, aren't you?
All right. You go next, Red Fox.
This is Mr. Red Fox. I have a podcast this Saturday at 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Probably won't go that long because we're going to be talking about old, tired, dead, sick franchises that need to be brought back on anything, PC, console, Switch, PS4, Xbox One, doesn't matter as long as it's old, hasn't been seen for a while, or the last time we saw it, it was dead.
I nominate Valis as tribute.
Yeah, Valis was fun, except I had that game on the SNES, and like I played it once, and I was like, this is fun, but yeah, we're talking about old stuff that we want to see brought back. Come join us. It's gonna be fun, and that's it.
All right, and game idea.
I can't say what I have in the works. I have some stuff I'm thinking of. I'm working on a bunch of different stuff, and I'm finally actually able to record my damn videos as I've got time aside. So just look out for stuff to happen. That's it.
And Uzil, you still there?
Yeah, man. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next time. That was a interesting chat.
Notice the inflection on the word interesting.
Yeah. I didn't really have too much to say, but I was listening.
And Perry.
What's up? This is Perry Fan 74, random citizen of the internet. I do not create content because I don't have an imagination. Well, actually, I do. I just don't have equipment. Other than that, follow me on Twitter if you want my Switch friend code for Mario Kart and other fun things like Mario Kart and Mario Kart. What else? Oh, if you have a PS4 and Neo, the first DLC dropped, I suggest getting it. Get the season pass because it's something I've never seen done, at least myself. If anyone else has seen it, like the DLC is a continuation of the main story. The main story does have an end, but it's like a post thing. But the DLC is all one story that's kind of continuing, and it's very interesting and it's very fun and it is well worth the money. It's only like a $20 season pass, like Zelda. And none of the major gaming sites are covering it because they were all like, "Oh my God, Neo, it's one of the best games ever." Well, we forgot about it a day later, even though it's still a really good game. We won't talk about it. But yeah, that's about it. Follow me on Twitter because I write witty stuff and comment back to stupid people with witty stuff.
When Zelda came out, everything else seemed to take a back burner after that.
Yeah, seriously.
True.
And as always,
No, but they still talked about Nier's new DLC.
Oh.
But not Neo's, and I'm sad. But I did buy Nier. I just have not played it yet.
I've heard nothing but good things about that game.
Same here.
Well, I'm Dr. Feelgood. I want to thank all you guys for coming. And also, Contrarian Bass, I'm not sure what happened. He must have dropped out or lost connection somehow. Be sure you check out all these guys. Also, the viewers, thank you so much, especially Cherry Goblin. If ever you want to attend, just let me know. Wide open to it. And also, as far as, I'm not sure if the rest of you guys are, but I know myself and Game Idea Guy are also on VidMe. So, if you like our content, be sure you check out us on VidMe and subscribe.
Yes.
And I don't have a $1 subscribe button, so just if you want, you just follow me. That's perfectly fine. I'm trying to get verified on there. They got a new rule, and it's yes, I deal with it.
But they instituted it just after you got there.
I was like, dude, they want to have like
the problem is they have tons of people asking them. I didn't ask them to be verified. They just verified me.
So why are you on VidMe anyway? Why are people?
Because VidMe is a way to branch out.
Folks, we're still live.
For me, VidMe started out as a backup to YouTube. If something happened to YouTube, I'd have my VidMe.